Yo, in this video I'm going to tell you how I became aesthetic. First part, the V-taper. The V-taper is probably the most important part of an aesthetic physique. It's basically when you look like you have like a V shape. Your upper back, your shoulder ratio, and your waist ratio kind of looks like a V. That's the most important part. So the three muscle groups that contribute to the V-taper are basically the side delts, shoulders, upper chest, and lats, pretty much your back. So those are the three muscles that give you that kind of V look. And I would say my shoulders are really good. My lats are really good. But my upper chest is kind of lacking. But it's still pretty good. But it's not at the same level as my shoulders, my side delts, and my lats. But those are the three main reasons, the three muscle groups that really give me that look. Because when I stand up, wait, let me just stand up. Show you. When I stand up, you can kind of see. Can you even see? Wait, should I? You can kind of see that I have like this V shape. And my upper body isn't like straight. It kind of goes in a V motion, and that really plays a big role to my aesthetic look, you could say. So the exercises I basically do for these muscle groups, so my lats, my shoulders, and my upper chest. So for my shoulders, I basically do two exercises for them. My side delts, I don't really do isolation exercise for my front or rear delts. But for my side delts, I basically just I do cable behind the back, cable lateral raises, and I do machine lateral raises, like seated machine lateral raises like this with this machine with the foam pads on your elbows. So those are the two main exercises that I do for my side delts. I don't really train my rear delts directly. I don't do isolation exercise for my rear delts or my front delts because I think for my rear delts, firstly, for most pulling exercises, they hit really well for me, especially when I use like a good range of motion. I really stretch them out, and my front delts they get hit so well from pushing exercises, like the exercise I don't even do for my upper chest. For example, for my upper chest, I do incline press, so incline press with the barbell, and I do high incline dumbbell press with like a deep range of motion. So those are most of the exercises that I do for my shoulders, my lats, and my upper chest. But I don't necessarily. In the past, I used to do other exercises for them. So I know a big chunk of my shoulders came from just dumbbell lateral raises, but recently they've been popping off with machine lateral raises and behind the back cable lateral raises. And most of my lats have come from pull-ups literally. I just 95% of my back came from pull-ups. Like I just spammed pull-ups for years and years and years. Different variations like chin-ups, wide grip pull-ups, neutral grip pull-ups. I just spammed them for years, and they really helped me grow my lats. But right now what I do for lats is basically just pull-ups, weighted pull-ups. So yesterday I did it with like an extra 10 kg, and I also did kind of cable row, cable flexion row with like a deep range of motion and pulling up. And it's really good for my rear delts and it's also good for my lats. And then on my second pull day of the week, I do lat prayer. I just started doing this like last week. Literally, it's so good. I feel it in my upper lat. Literally, I could never feel my upper lat in the past. Before the first time in my whole entire life, I literally felt this part of my back here, the upper lat here. So it was really fun. And I also do what's the second rowing movement that I do for my? I completely forgot. I literally did this last week. For Wait, lat prayer and yeah, Chiba row, Chiba row. So those Chiba row. I just love it. Like I remember one time when I did it, I got such a crazy bump that I just fell in love with the exercise. So Chiba row, lat prayer, pull ups, weighted pull ups, and cable flexion row. Those are mainly the exercises I do for those muscle groups. But also, if you want to have an excessive physique, if you have like a V taper, but then you have skinny legs, you have small arms, you have a small neck, small traps, you have small calves, small glutes, it doesn't look that impressive. Literally, it really doesn't. So just training these muscle groups is like, yeah, you can look okay. You might look aesthetic to a certain extent, but you really need the rest of the body to make it look good. For me, I'm pretty proud to say that I doesn't have okay my calves maybe, but outside of that, I don't really have a part of my body that is really lacking. My calves for a long time were lacking, and I still are to a certain extent, but they're getting better. They're getting bigger with time. My quads are massive. My hamstrings are massive. My glutes too big, you could say. My back is really good. My arms, my bicep and triceps are really good. My forearms could use some work, so I've been working on them recently. But the fact that I don't have a part of my body that is extremely lacking, and I'm still working on improving each part of my body, is what plays a big role in me having a nice aesthetic and good looking physique. Because having some body parts that are really muscular and big, and then the rest just looks scrawny, it makes you look even worse because some parts of your body kind of dominate and are way better, way bigger than some other parts of your body, and they make those parts look even smaller than they already are. So having a balanced physique is really, really important. That's why I've put so much emphasis in really training every part of my body really well. I do for my traps, I do shrugs. I've gotten like a few compliments on my videos for my big traps. I do shrugs for them. Most people, like a lot of people, don't even train traps directly. But I think my traps, I've never really feel my traps really working really well on pulling exercises. That's why I do isolation for them, and it really helped me grow my traps, and it really makes you look good. Even when you're wearing clothes, when you have big traps and big shoulders, it really, really helps. My quads, I literally trained legs today. I did, the exercise that I did were first one was Smith machine, feet forward squat, you could say. Second one were RDLs, remaining deadlifts. Then sissy squats, weighted sissy squats, like I held it like a dumbbell in my hand, like it was so painful. Then I did seated straight leg calf raises. Then I did seated leg curl. But it was a really, really hard workout, but really, really fun as well. But I can't stress this enough. You need to train every single part of your body. Second, like what, one, two, three. I can't count anymore. Like fourth thing, bulking and cutting. It's if you want to maximize muscle gain. I've said it in so many of my videos. You need to bulk. You need to be in a caloric surplus. And even I, right now, I'm still bulking, and I haven't even cut once since I started training. Like I honestly haven't cut, like done an official cut even once. My goal, I'm currently bulking. My goal is to reach 95 kg. If I don't look too fat at 95 kg, will probably go up to 100 kilograms before I do my first ever cut. So I'm sure that cut is gonna be really fun. Like really look forward to it because I've built a lot of muscle mass, but I think I can really, it's not really been too like revealed too much over the last few years because I have I'm not that lean. I'm probably like 16% body fat or something like that. So I could be a lot leaner. But I know that it's important that I pack on muscle first before I reveal it. So I'm kind of delaying gratification with boss bulking because I know I can build more muscle in a caloric surplus, and then I'll cut and reveal the muscle I've already built, and I'll maybe enjoy it for a few months before bulking again because I know if I'm not bulking, I'm not maximizing muscle gain. The last thing, training hard. In the past, my perspective, my way of, bro, what am I trying to say here? The way I interpreted it, hard training was just intensity. How hard are you performing a certain set? That was it. But now I've kind of changed my mind, and I think hard training isn't only about the intensity, but it's also about the volume and the difficulty of the exercises. So I used to do kind of fairly low volume. Like it wasn't Mike Mensa level of low volume, but it was still fairly low volume. So I was doing 2 sets per exercises. Now I've gone up to, like I was doing around, you could say 8 to 10 sets per session. Now I'm doing around 12, like no, 13, 14 to 20 sets per session. So I've slowly ramped up to this level of volume, which is fairly high. Like it's pretty high what I'm doing right now. But in the past, I was taking every set to failure. Now I'm not necessarily taking every single set to failure. On some sets, I leave some of the reps in reserve. And I used to think that people that trained whilst leaving some reps in reserve and did higher volume were pussies. Like honestly, they were just my way of saying it. I thought to myself, okay, if you're not going to failure, you're a pussy, something like that. But now when I look back, my workouts now, even though there are some sets where I leave one or two reps to reserve, my workouts now are a lot harder than my workouts when I was doing 2 sets per exercise, 8 to 10 sets per session, but I was taking each set to failure. Like the increase in the volume, while still taking every set very close to failure, makes my sessions a lot harder. But you need to be training hard if you want to build some muscle. It's just a must. You need to be training hard, and it isn't only about the intensity; it's also about the volume. ramp up your volume slowly if you can, if you have time, and if you know that right now you're recovering really well from the volume you're doing right now. It might mean that you can do a little bit more. You can maybe add some volume to the sets that you're already doing. Instead of doing 2 sets per exercise, you could go up on certain exercise to 3, 4, maybe 5 even. It might be too much, but just find the sweet spot for you, the spot where you're still able to recover, but still close to kind of your limit of recoverable volume, you could say. Because if right now you never get sore, you always never even come close to getting a problem with recovery, it might mean that you have more in the tank, that you could do more to get more muscle. So yeah, that was it for the video. Hope you found this valuable. And yeah, I've started a free school community where if you want to build muscle, it's completely free. If you want to build muscle, you can join that community. This is the first link in the description, so go click it and join. If you want to build more muscle, you want to bulk up, then that community is definitely for you. So yeah, don't worry from comfort, chase it.